Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
your
Abstract.
insights. As we jump straight back into game here to see how things are unfolding, because as of now, GEEK Fam actually, 50-50 with TLPH, even though it's 88% gold.
Right now we do see that TLPH are looking to try and find an opening into the enemy jungle. They don't really find that setup just yet, but they are eyeing for it, right? They're looking for a way to try and shut down Vincent. They see that it's not something that they really want to commit over to. They don't want to make any mistakes at this portion of the game, as only 6 minutes have elapsed. So they're going to focus on the objectives, right? They're going to focus on this tower in the top side. JP opening up the vision, also opening up space for Benny Cutie, but Voloisky opens up, doesn't really find anything either.
Yeah, I like how Loisky is taking the fact that he is looking to try and jump in for the fights. Even if he misses here, he does have a little bit of a mini stun on the Little Johnny. And then, buys him a little bit of time to reset instead of allowing Little Johnny to do so much damage here. You like that, don't you, Little Johnny? But hold that thought for now, because right now, we see a fight. JP immediately gets taken out here. As GEEK Fam now is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. We do Sanford immediately also going to be going forward as well. Vincent able to find one. Caldisi able to trade one for his teammates, but they lose 3 members in the process. This extended fight coming from TLPH is not helping them at all. GEEK Fam was able to find one more. Benny QT left alone, 1v3. Does he want to go here? I don't think he should though.
Yeah, I don't think he's capable of it either. He only has the BOD up until this point. He doesn't have the Heptases or any other items that can help elevate his damage, so he is waiting on. But that was a 3-for-2 trade in favor of GEEK Fam as they're pushing the tempo, picking up the space, but look at JP.
Oh, JP looking to try and start the fight as well. Find a slash stop Benny QT, but he's getting dived on pretty bad here. But the Tauntaun memories is going to be good enough to take Voloisky. Meanwhile, they will sacrifice JP's life in the process.
Was that a complete reset on the turtle as well? Both of these teams can't do it. They were able to kind of bait GEEK Fam to reset it, and both of them don't get it, but it looks like Team Liquid now have the better setup. They're gonna force Aurora or a boy here to go in for the retreat, and that looks like it's a free turtle over to Team Liquid. Well, it was initially a good game for GEEK Fam,
right?
And they turned it completely around based on macro.
That's why you have to give credit towards TLPH. They were able to buy enough time for the rest of the members to respawn back, rejoin that fight, and actually take away the objective. And because of this, TLPH is able to equalize the loss that they had just now.
Exactly. You can never count TLPH out. They are able to outdo this with their minds, with their brains, with the intelligence that they have in the game. Concealed play, though, going to be poked up.
Oh boy, here he comes. They are going to try and dive onto Sanford as well. Sanchi is able to get out to safety, but JP now in a little bit of trouble here. Primal Wrath is not going to give him a life there as Vincent gets another kill. Sanji trying to set up for the team here. Caldisi joins the fight, but the Daytona Smoker will pull one. The Frigid Frost comes in. They will be able to shut him down, but Sanford needs to make a run for it, and Gobs is going to try and finish him off, and they do find 4 men out. Voloisky somehow survives. Benny Cutie! Benny Cutie is able to get here almost everyone, but our boy is able to stop him in his tracks.
And that's a wiped out, ladies and gentlemen, for GEEK Fam. Despite the play coming in through from Benny QT, GEEK Fam still reign up top. A boy trying to force in that tower in the mid side, but they don't even get it. Team Liquid PH, they were still able to take control, was still able to clear out the waves to prevent that from happening. But either or, right? GEEK Fam, pick up that 800k, not 800k just yet, but 800 gold lead. 800k would have been so big. 800 gold lead, and they're still holding control. Still a very 50-50 game we're watching.
Oh boy, this is kind of crazy here considering the amount of fights that has been happening here. It felt like TLPH had a little bit small victories here, but GEEK Fam was able to catch them in the most awkward situation, and just like that, TLPH, they kind of fumbled a little bit here. They needed a play coming from Benny QT, but it just didn't really work out here, and GEEK Fam just has so much things to worry about. And to be honest, you have to give props to Gobs, man. Like, he's been setting up so well on this Arlet.
I'm happy for that, right? I'm happy, right? A lot of people are questioning whether or not Gobs has fit into the lineup properly as Luke had before, but wait a second.
Oh no, Sanji needs to purify out of there as well. He doesn't want to use the Dominance Descent to try and extend the fight. They are in a very awkward position. Now, reset comes in for Sanji. Meanwhile, GEEK Fam, what do they do with this reset? Because Vincent looking to try and set up a fight. They find JP once more. Frigid Force comes in, but Vincent will be the finisher. Killing spree for Vincent.
But Loiski has been popping off on this Kufra, by the way, right? Sure, he had to force that resource use with the ult and so on and so forth, but the fact that they were able to bait out a lot of things. Oh, wait a second. Gobs again.
Oh, no. They missed the spell here. Sanji was able to pump the descent here. Going to the back line. JP is going to fall, but our boy is actually the first one to fall thanks to Kao TC, and TLPH is going to try and continue with this fight. Look at Sanji. Free shots after free shots. But Beloyski from behind. He catches Sanji from behind the dominant descent, sacrificing his life to take a mage. What a catch in the midst of chaos, Beloyski. What a catch!
Yeah, and that really forces both of these teams to kind of look for a reset, but TLPH, they don't want to give up anything, right? They don't want to waste time. They're focusing on these objectives, and they're going to be able to take this first Lord, as Vincent's still going to be able to pick up his purple buff. What did I tell you about Vincent on the Fanny, right? 515 so far, has been able to bait a lot of resources out, doesn't necessarily have to deal the execution, because that's when Chidera usually comes in, and right now, Chidera, if we take a look at his items, he's on his way to that Holy Crystal, supposedly, right? Already with the Starlim Scythe, he has the Feather of Heaven as well. Meanwhile, technically, Brody should already be dishing out the damage. I think maybe that power spike came too late.
It's crazy, right? To see watch this game. Jabs after jabs, blows after blows. Look at this. GEEK fam, they're going to start a fight once more. They almost caught Sanji. He's going to be using Dominant Descent to keep himself alive. But again, Beloyski is trying to keep them all at bay while the rest of GEEK fam clears off the Lord. But no, they're going to ignore the Lord and try to commit to the fight. And they lose one instead. Kautisi actually fights Beloyski, and they were able to lose a tier 2. Lord cleared. Successfully defend, only losing one member, but it's not over yet. TLPH, they still have the health, they still have Sanford, they still have BennyQT, still rather strong. This tier 3, can they defend? Yes, they can, and it will still stand for GEEK fam.
That was nearly a big problem for GEEK fam, honestly, right? Because BennyQT, other than the BOD that he already also has the Malefic Roar, so he's dishing out that damage even on the turrets as well, and that was nearly a big problem. I mean, luckily GEEK fam, they were still able to come back from this, and yes, okay, now Chidera has Holy Crystal. So these team fights are going to get a lot more interesting. That damage from Chidera is definitely ramping up. And the fact that Vincent has been so great weaving in and weaving out of these team fights, baiting in these resources, dealing that initial damage for Chidera to ultimately take, it might be different this time.
Oh, JP now, with the Earth Shadow, is going to buy a little bit more time. They are going to try to commit to this fight. They lose Chidera right from the get-go. That's huge for them as well. Dominant Descent is able to find one more. Sanford fights Beloyski, and GEEK fam, they made a mistake. They crumbled too hard. They thought they were able to turn the tides, but it is TLPH that catches them with their pants down now, with Vincent trying to buy a little bit more time, trying to clear the minions, but they just could not do so. This tier 3 is guaranteed to fall, and TLPH is marching in. Vincent, what can you do right now? They need so much more.
2 members in the face of 5 TLPH members. But it looks like TLPH this time around, they don't want to overcommit. They don't want to overtake and overstay their welcome. They're going to stay disciplined and they're going to retreat. This does give GEEK fam a little bit more time to come back and reset from everything that has happened. And it looks like Vincent is going to be able to get a trade down bottom. He's pushing in that bottom side, hoping to get that turret. But TLPH, they should see this. Or it could be utilized as a bait, as they're both going to be setting up for that Lord.
Well, it seems to me Kautizi, he is in prime position to actually kind of stop Vincent, but now my question is who's going to win this? Because now Vincent is going to try and make an attempt. Kautizi sidesteps straight through, but he's down towards 1 HP. The turret is doing a lot of damage here. Okay, Shenuka can see it, and Kautizi outplays Vincent. Fanny versus Hayabusa. Who wins? It's the Hayabusa, baby.
It's Carl Teasy. It's the GOAT. It is his veterancy as well as his experience against Vincent, and that was a beautiful display of skill and mechanic. So well accustomed, so cold-headed, level-headed to make that play happen, and that is going to be a free Lord for TLPH in the 14th minute of the game.
Oh my goodness, Kautizi's got so cold, man. He's got ice in his veins, even with 1 HP. He did not panic. He baited him out. He just completely shut Vincent out. What an outplay. What a player.
Absolutely. And of course there's a pause because we need to digest what happened. How is that possible? How did he... Kaltizi was barely at 1 HP. Vincent came in a little bit too aggressively under turret. And he lost that 1v1.
You know what? That's why you need Sky Piercer. You know, think about this. Think about this. Every single game thus far, yesterday and today, no one has opted to go for Sky Piercer except for this game. Now, we've got 2 Sky Piercers, one on KaoTZ, one on Benny QT. I had this discussion with Gideon off the side. He said that, no, it's a little bit inconsistent just because it's so hard to build up to the stacks. And now, we have to. And imagine this, if Vincent had a Sky Piercer there, I'm pretty sure KaoTZ would have died.
But notice his build, right? Notice Vincent's build. Is he building full damage?
He is doing full damage. He does have an anti-Kira.
So he's not building full damage. So that's not... And this is something that we've seen from Vincent, right? Every time he goes into Fanny, like, I don't know if this is supposed to work or not. I'm not a Fanny player myself, but whenever Vincent plays the Fanny, yes, he does go for damage, but it's a hybrid, right? He uses it to be a little bit more utility. He dives in first, he extracts resources from the opponents for everyone else to deal out the damage and to be the executor later on. So this is just very Vincent-esque, I would say.
Okay, I can respect that. But at the same time, yeah, this 1v1 outplay, oh my god, if he had the Scout Purser, he would have died. But at the same time, KaoTZ was able to Shadow Step, sidestep that last moment, survived, popped an OK Shield kill, and just outplay him. Look at this. Brother Vincent, I got you. You know what? I see you. You're dead. You're gone. It's over.
We're the doubters now.
Oh.
We're the haters now.
Ooh.
Broski, this is Prime KaoTZ.
Oh my god, that was so sick. Like, how often do you get a 1v1 situation like that?
I love it. I live for it.
Who's better, Hayabusa or Fanny? KaoTZ just made the statement right there.
I mean, technically, a Hayabusa should be able to outplay a lot better than the Fanny, to be fair, right? I mean, he has the Shadow Kill, he has a lot more tools in his kit to make those plays, but you know what? Let's just completely ignore that because KaoTZ, bro.
Oh boy, we are going to be jumping back into game once more here. We had a little bit of hype moment between Vincent and KaoTZ, but let's see whether or not if GEEK Fam still holds on for game number 3, because game 2 seems like with the Lord crashing in, GEEK Fam is going to have a lot of troubles.
Wait a second. Vincent, what is he doing there in the backside? He does put some damage over onto the Zaz, but we'll see what happens as, look at this, it looks like they're gonna be able to clear.
Oh no, Sanji's a little bit far off as well. He doesn't have the help. They don't really want to take the risk here. They are gonna give the Lord away to GEEK Fam to kind of defend against this. So GEEK Fam, they are able to hold on even longer now.
Yeah, they're not committing. Just off of Vincent's play.
Wow.
Right? Vincent went into the backline, dealt damage on it to Sanji. He didn't want to take the risk. He went in for a recall. And it seems like the call that they made at that point with one member down as compared to GEEK Fam at full 5 was, you know what, let's just go back, reset, let's deal some damage, a little bit of damage onto the turrets, but let's not overcommit for this one.
Oh boy. Now, TLPH is slowly hitting their late power spike, right? We talk about Barat as well as Zaz. Pretty weak in the later stage game here, and GEEK Fam, they do have the tools to deal with this here. And look at this, little Johnny just barely melted in a couple of skills right there by GEEK Fam. And now here with Daytona's welcome, you know, save Sanford holding it in. He is gonna cancel it away, and GEEK Fam just playing the macro game a little bit smarter right now.
Yeah, let's talk about the way that things have been panning out over the past few seconds, right? In these long-drawn exchanges between GEEK and Team Liquid, with the fact that GEEK Fam has a lot more, I would say, range with the Aurora, a lot more poke with Aurora as well, it looks like Team Liquid aren't in a position to be able to do this. Right? A lot of the members from Team Liquid PH will get really low and then they have to go for a full reset, so they can't properly set up for these team fights as we usually see when Team Liquid go for a very quick decision.
Yeah, and that's the thing about understanding their power spikes and their timings, right? Like TLPH is finally reached a power spike where they're supposed to be very, very weak, much weaker in the later stage of the game, and they're trying to capitalize on mistakes that GEEK Fam will make. And so far, not gonna lie, GEEK Fam has made some mistakes, and I think TLPH is banging on the fact that GEEK Fam will make those kind of mistakes once more.
Yeah, they're looking for it at this point, right? Because now, as we enter the 18th minute of the game, these death timers are going to increase quite a bit. And so these Lord dances are going to be very important. And here, GEEK Fam, they have the Fanny. They have a Fanny to work with. They have the Fanny that can go to the far side of these Lord dances to set up properly. And, you know, as we give the teams a little bit more time to think about this, because it gets as important as that, we're also gonna take a technical pause, right? We're gonna have a little bit more room, more time to have a little podcast here on Stream B. Let's get comfy, get your snacks.
I think we can actually talk on how intense this fight is and how important it is coming from both sides, right? Like currently TLPH, they're top of the scoreboard. They're number one in their respective group in terms of overall points in Group A. But do they want to remain number one, or are they here to experiment? Because so far, GEEK Fam, they definitely need more points in order to kind of survive the group stages, to kind of make it into its playoffs, which is going to be happening on August 2nd August.
You know, technically GEEK Fam is second place.
Oh, true.
In the group.
As
so
of yet.
they could be fighting for that number one spot.
True. Sup, Extract? We're gonna need you back here to kind of give us the info.
I'm comfy.
But we need to do our what's the AI the Aya podcast.
Aya podcast.
AIA, right?
AIA. AIA is like an insurance company in Singapore.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
It is an insurance company.
Okay.
But it's okay. I'm fine with AIA.
Aya?
Yeah,
Aya?
because whenever people tune in on stream and see the three of us and they're like, AIA, there's three of them.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good
That
one.
was good.
Okay, especially since I think this is the perfect time for me to kind of unwrap what has happened in the second Lord's push, because I've got this question, kind of looming around. Eternal, I'm kind of wondering, was that really a good choice from Team Liquid for them to kind of fall back and not go for a three-way push together with the Lord just because of Vincent's play? Because not executing this push eventually guarantees GEEK Fam into the late game, where it could essentially be a 50-50 for either one of these teams.
I think they needed Sanji for the zoning.
Yeah, they
I
definitely
think they needed Sanji for zoning, so they didn't really want to overcommit onto it. I think that's the idea that I'm going for as to why
Okay.
they went for that play. Whether it
Okay,
was
okay.
worth it or not, I can't really say. But
Yeah.
maybe Icy Baby has an idea about
I
that.
think it comes out to the toolkits that they have right now from TLPH, right? Pay attention
Okay.
to their drafts. Like, Barats, can you go all in and get back out to safety? No. Pretty much, it is a pretty one-dimensional one. Once you go in, that's it. You're done. You don't do anything, it's over. Kautizi, same thing. Sanji, you go in, you zone, you buy space for JP, you buy space for Sanford, you buy space for Benny QT to walk out forward. Whereas from the side of GEEK Fam, you've got Arlet, very, very mobile. You've got Fanny, very, very mobile. Aurora, kind of mobile. But ideally, the biggest threat here is going to be the Harif.
Why are you laughing, Abstract?
I know, right?
What is
So disrespectful. Icy Baby is talking.
It's okay.
And you're laughing.
You know what's the funniest thing? You know what's the funniest thing? Eterna did the
snort.
exact same thing to me 2 years ago here.
No, it's
snort?
Yes. It was an accident. No, it's just that, Icy Baby is like all serious, like breaking things down like this
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that, this and that. And then Eternal just like,
She's so done with me.
No,
Every single time.
I'm saying hi to my viewers, our viewers.
Hi.
Hello, guys.
in case.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast. For those people that have just tuned in to the stream B, the best stream of all streams when it comes down to the Snapdragon Snapdragon Pro series here. I'm pretty sure that every single one of you must be wondering, why is there like 3 streams? Let me fill you guys up on this real quickly, right? We have quite a lot of teams. In fact, 12 teams spread across a total of 2 groups. So 6 teams of each group. They will be fighting against with one another, with 6 teams fighting one another. So it's 2 teams in group A, 2 teams in stream A, 2 teams in stream B, 2 teams in stream C. As such, we will have concurrent games running along. So this is eventually going to help us work with what we've got. But, I'm gonna dip out and say bye, because now is the time for them to act.
Thank you so much, Abstract, as we get straight back into the game. 17 minutes, almost 18 have elapsed, and both teams are going to do the infamous Lord Push. Wait, is that Thunderbelt of Benny QT, by the way?
Yes.
Thunderbelt Brody?
Yeah, it is Thunderbelt on him. But at the same time, Sanji just died out of nowhere. And now TLPH, they are going to be forcing a fight as well. Okay, Shadow Kill comes in, but it's not going to be enough here. Vincent looking to try and finish off the members coming in from TLPH. In one fell swoop, JP is going to be the POI here. He's trying to go for Earth Shatter, trying to back out of this fight, but he won't be able to get out. GEEK Fam, can they finish him off? Yes, they can. They find JP on the sides. Meanwhile, Sanford is going to run the other direction here. He's down on pretty low, but he is going to die here with double kill for Kadera. And now he gets another one. And in less than 10 seconds, GEEK Fam able to almost get a full wipeout on TLPH.
What happened?
No idea. Sanji.
What?
Sanji was the first to die.
GEEK Fam completely turned the tables, ladies and gentlemen, in minute number 19. 4 members taken down with the price of 1. And now GEEK Fam with that space, with that momentum, they are going to be able to get this neutral objective take uncontested. And this is the Lord? An enhanced Lord at that? Is this a evolved Lord at this point?
Yeah, it
That's
is.
going to be pushing in favor of GEEK Fam. Team Liquid completely let go of the reins in game number 2.
It is going to be huge here coming from GEEK Fam. This is what they exactly need to kind of push out the lanes, because so far TLPH, they have been dominating every single thing, and now we finally get a first glimpse of the items here.
It looks like that the Brody actually did go for Thunderbelt. I think he recognizes the fact that he is so vulnerable against the damage coming through from the side of GEEK Fam, whether it be from Vincent or from Chidera. He haven't actually built in an Athena shield, so there's a lot of respect coming through, but that is in sacrifice of his damage. So do not expect these crazy plays coming in from Benny QT. The damage is not quite there. Perhaps they're banking on the fact of Carl Teasy and Sanji. Maybe that's where the damage is coming from.
Well, he sold his shoes for the Athena shoe, so I guess it's just, boy, you know, going to be very, very oppressive, but he needs to be a little bit careful here. Kaldizi tries to get a little bit sneaky here. Can he get the 1v1 against Vincent? But there are minions here, and Vincent doesn't have the purple buff, but looks like he's going to try to make an attempt now. Here he comes. Okay, Shadow comes in, and he gets the kill! Sky Piercer wins the game. Vincent first to fall for TLPH, and now GEEK Fam has no choice. Do they want to push this Lord here? But it seems like they won't be satisfied with just the tier 3 down bottom.
You know, the saying goes like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Yeah, shame on you, Vincent, for thinking for the second time that you can outplay the GOAT. Wow.
And wait, what? Huh? Sanford? Winter Crown? Okay.
I mean, he saw a boy, maybe?
No, he saw Beloyski, you know, coming in. He thought he was going to hit him, but Beloyski was actually out of range to hit him.
I mean, technically, Beloyski's at 2-7-12 has the flicker as well, so he's been able to find a lot of moments. They're just respecting that, but it is a good resource wasted for sure.
Yep. But TLPH now going to be continuing their aggression here. Vincent is going to be back in 5 seconds. So they are going to deny the purple buff away from Vincent once more as they continue to find the mistakes, I guess.
Carl TZ gonna look for that play. And it goes back to that reset, right? The reset that we know and love. I think the fact is, when we get to the point where they go in for these objective takes again, as they group in 5v5, they have to be careful of 2 things, especially against GEEK Fam, right? One, Vincent is going to be able to utilize that far lane, which Team Liquid PH doesn't have the inhibitor tart for, by the way, so it should be naturally be pushing in favor of GEEK Fam. They have to be careful of that. They have to be careful of the fact that Vincent can do this, right? Split push, get in those side lanes. You don't do housekeeping. Be careful of side pushes coming through. And they also have to be very aware of the Lois getting position. But wait a second.
Oh, middle lane here. They do find Gobs here. Winter Crown comes in trying to extend the fight, but he needs to flicker out as well. Frigid Frost has been used, but meanwhile, TLPH Sanford, they catch Beloyski. They go for the Rose Welcome to try to isolate the fight, but Vincent, they find Sanji at the expense on his own life, but the rest of GEEK Fam, they're getting so low. Look at this, Kautizi is doing so much work here to try and finish off the rest of the members here. Even Beloyski will fall. Kautizi, double kill for him with the Sky Piercer. GEEK Fam loses 3 in exchange for only Sanji.
Oh no, and now Team Liquid with that space, with that build, with that momentum, they're going to be able to get this neutral objective uncontested. GEEK Fam this time have really dropped their reins. This is going very ping-pong-esque, very tennis matchy.
Very back and
I'm
throw.
getting whiplash a bit.
It's very back and throw between both these teams here. It comes down to individual mistakes, and so far, Kaltizi is the most consistent of it all. He's able to find opportunities in all this chaos. But talk me through this replay here.
Yeah, we're gonna start here. I think it was a really great move there for Sanford to pick on Beloyski first. Meanwhile, right, I told you, right, every time we see Team Liquid be able to really inactivate Beloyski, that's when things kind of go south for Geek Fam. There was a moment where I thought that maybe Chidera would be able to outplay in that later portion of the game at the top of that team fight that was going on, but unfortunately they didn't really go for it. They didn't want to do the commit over it. I guess they were afraid for an overstep, but I think he should have pressed the gas there, honestly.
Yeah, it is just a little bit unfortunate here, but now with this Lord coming in, I think this is like by now what, the 4th Lord fight this stage here. It is going to be very, very tanky. Geek Fam is going to try and layer up to tier 3. Sanford gets final slash up to the side, but he is going to go in for the Winter Crown. Daytona's welcome, and guess what? He survives the onslaught. They find Gobs, and just like that, Geek Fam, they have to go in for the reset. The Lord knocking over to the Crystal as well. TLPH still holding on with their assault to try and finish things off as well. Kautisi with the OK Shadow kill. He needs to get out to safety, but he cannot do so. He uses his Winter Crown, but he's not good enough. He doesn't have the shadows to get out to safety.
Whoa, what? That's a... What? Kautisi gets taken out there, and they didn't have any minions. So Team Liquid, even if they wanted to go for it, they were unable to close. Once again, a successful defense by Geek Fam as we enter minute number 24. Ladies and gentlemen, get your snacks, get comfy in your seats, because we have got a game on our hands.
Props to our boy, man. Like, he was able to clear off the minions here, and they were able to force a mistake coming from Kautisi. Kautisi thought he was buying space and making time for his teammates to clear off the crystals, but guess what? Our boy and Vincent already cleared off all the minions. There was no minions to push into, and when he made that play, he just couldn't get out.
It looks like Kautisi also picked up a Thunderbelt here. Why Thunderbelt for both Kautisi and Benny Cutie?
I think it's more like they've gotten to a stage where this is getting a little bit too long. It's time to build out those infinite hybrid defenses.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, imagine 1,000 hybrid defense just because the game has drawn out to 30 to 40 minutes. It comes to a stage where who's tankier right now? It's no longer who does more damage, who's just able to outlast your opponent.
Okay, and then with that mindset, it's going to be interesting to see how both of these teams actually play the playing field again, right? Because technically, Vincent, again, if you're on a Ling, if you're on a Claude, if you're on something like the Fanny as well, you could definitely utilize that mobility advantage to try and look for more plays around the map. And because the Lord is spawning on the top side, there's definitely more room for Geek Fam to work with. So all they need to do is play that macro style.
Well, this is going to be by far one of the longer games here in SPS, but now look at the nightmarish spawn just immediately melts here. Beloyski in a little bit of trouble. They go in for a couple of stunts here coming for our boy to try and stop him in the track. Beloyski trying to catch onto his JP, but with just a couple of shots from our boy, look at this. He's just doing so much damage here with this Aurora.
And other than that, right, Kautisi is also trying his best at this point, right, to push in these side lanes too. Wait a second, Minikuti's down bottom. He has to focus in on that lane that I was talking about, right? With the inhibitor down on the far lane, that does give Geek Fam an advantage, and this gives Geek Fam information that Benny QT is not going to be available in this next team fight. This should be the moment that they press the gas.
This is hard. This is hard. Look at how Kadera is just barely chipping the Lord right now. It's so difficult to actually hit the Lord right now, especially this late in the game. 26 minutes into the game. I don't know how tanky this Lord is. Even Kadera just barely tickling him. It's just going to be really hard here. Unless they come into this fight here. Beloyski getting the catch on Sanford. I don't think they are want to commit into this fight as well. But guess what? Vincent will settle with the first immortality and just back out. But they drop the dominance to Sen here to try and split out the fight. Sanford catching on towards Gobs there. But the Winter Crown saves his life. Beloyski also looking to re-engage towards the back lines. While the TLBH members is looking to just completely back out. Vincent now finally joining the fight. But the Frigid Frost from our boy will kill off Sanji, and now another one for Vincent as Kautisi will fall. He gets his revenge, and Geek Fam is able to find 3 in one fell swoop.
Oh no, it could be more here. Beloyski looking for that play. Benny QT as well is in that push. Okay, he does get out alive though, but it looks like Beloyski is looking for a play onto JP as well. Look at the death timers. Every second counts. every mistake is gonna hurt. And it feels like Team Liquid in that exchange. That was a very messy team fight.
Oh, we've got triple immortalities up on GEEK Fam as well. And now BennyQt, he got dragged out of the park here. He needs to survive. He's got the immortality, but can he get out? No, he cannot. His stand is over. GEEK Fam ID, they might have just done it. This 28 minutes ordeal has finally concluded. It is going to be a 1-1, and GEEK Fam bounces his back, drags this to game number 3.